Open world games, Tony.
What
You
are they good
love to
for?
see them. What are they good for?
Yeah.
Hello. Welcome to Tangerine.
Tangerine!
And this week, I'm looking at two separate open world games played back to back. And after playing
Yeah.
one, I was like, this is kind of mediocre. And then after playing the other, I was like, this is the first one's a masterpiece. So,
Yeah. I think that is a general consensus on both the games we're talking about, so
so I, so first
no controversies here.
I played Mad Max, and I heard good things about it, or like sort of mixed things towards
I
it.
had good things about the vehicle stuff, but nothing else is what I
Yeah,
heard.
so the first thing I will say is Mad Max is not the main character of Mad Max. The main character of Mad Max is the car. Mad Max
Fair?
is like a blank slate.
Yeah.
There's not really anything interesting about him in the story, but the actual character that you'll be playing as and upgrading is the car. It is the...
It just needs to be like a claptrap card and be perfect.
Okay, so let's just go like straight into like open world design, because this is the thing I've been thinking about. Like, the
Yeah.
thing that because a lot of open world games, they'll have a lot of content where you're just
Collectibles.
you're just collecting stuff, and
Yeah,
you're just
go here, kill, go here, pick stuff up.
you're ticking lists, right, basically.
Yeah.
And the problem that a lot of the bad ones fall into, or the Ubisoft ones fall into, is you have to traverse from objective to objective, but they don't understand that the thing that makes it interesting is you need interesting traversal.
Yeah.
Because this is the thing that platformers do very well. Because a lot of platformers are collectathons, and they're essentially just go from area, collect thing. But the thing about platformers is the traversal is really fun because it's the main gameplay loop. It's fun to climb up platforms and go across challenges, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess it's like
this is what Mad
you're also
Max
following the play.
this is what Mad Max does well. Riding around in the car in the desert and fighting enemies with it is really fun. I gotta give Mad Max huge props for that. I think where it falls apart is that the content you're driving to is just not really fun.
Yeah,
It sort of boils down to find scrap, pull down tower, and you go to bases and basically punch some dudes until you overtake the tower. And basically you're just trying to like overtake areas of the map, and doing this will give you doing this will like let you get better upgrades and will give you more like scrap, and you can unlock upgrades at your camps, right?
you're coloring the map in as well, right?
Playing this, okay, so the combat in this game reminded me a lot of it's the Arkham Shadow of Mordor style, where it's very much someone attacks you, you counter it, you fight back, you're just chaining combos together. And I like that style of combat. I quite like that. I don't know how you feel about it.
I like it, but I feel like you need to make the combat encounters make it interesting around that. Like I feel like Batman games do that very well. Because like you can't, like, you don't have much health, right? And it's like you kind of have to go and hide. So it depends. Like, yeah, I kind of like that. Like it feels good. It just like you can't. It's not. You need other stuff to make it interesting, is what I would say.
Yeah.
Because like otherwise, okay, because like Assassin's Creed technically has this to some extent, right? Because like you go into an encounter, you then start countering and parrying everyone, and everyone just stands around in a circle. You just slowly kill them one by one. It's like that's not interesting, and that's kind of a similar. It's not the same. Like it's a little bit more visceral with like Shadow of Mordor or Arkham games, but it's kind of a similar idea, and that's kind of my problem with them.
I think the thing that makes Batman a lot more interesting is you have a lot more options when it comes to how you approach the level, where you can
and you
stealth.
kind of have, and you're like forced to because like, you're weak against lots of enemies.
There is like kind of an intense. There is a kind of a cool specking system in this where some guy like blows angel dust in your eyes, and then you get to choose different skills. He's an interesting character. So this is Chum.
Good old Chum.
Chum Bucket. He's pretty much the best character in the game. He's one of the few characters in the game, really, when it comes down to it. And when I say characters, I mean like interesting people with their own, unique
Would
stories
it
and
not
stuff
be
like that.
cool if like Mad Max started out as like like a human that we would expect in like the modern one, and like he like slowly dissolves, it like goes into madness like throughout the whole like the whole game, and like links to the skills
He
and stuff
kind
as
of
well.
the way the story's told is that he kind of starts off as like, I don't give a shit about anything, and then the story
Right.
goes, here's some people to care about, and then the story goes, okay,
Because
now we'll take those people away, and you're gonna go crazy. He's gonna go
I
mad.
right, I would have done like the exact opposite. Like have people he cared about, take them
Mm.
away. That makes him go mad, and then like realize that this is why everyone in the world is
Are we
like
are we
this.
gonna go into spoilers for Mad Max? Because
Yeah, I
it'd
think
be
so.
okay.
Spoiler alert. It's an
Spoiler
old game
alert
now,
for Mad
right?
2015,
Yeah.
14. I want to say it definitely came out after Shadow of 2015. So it came out like a year after
Yeah.
Shadow of War, I think, or Shadow of Mordor, whichever one came first.
Shadow. What? Yeah. Mordor, I think.
Um, because it was after the Arkham games, this sort of style got very popular.
Yeah.
After Arkham City, especially the open world combat
Yeah.
counter system
Especially.
sort of thing got very popular. Because
Although
I played through
Arkham City is much
most.
better than this.
I played through most of Shadow of Mordor, but I never finished it because
No, I never finished it either. I got distracted just doing the open
yes,
world stuff.
yes, exactly
I was
what
like,
happened
the
to me.
story? What's that do? I don't care about the story.
I got distracted because I started doing all of the fucking tower content where you just go
Oh,
around
the
unlocking
orcs.
stuff.
Well, my problem was like I got really distracted with this guy fucking killed me. I'm gonna go and kill him, and it's like
The thing is,
story
though, the
mission. I've
nemesis.
got a vendetta.
The thing is, though, the way Shadow of Mordor works because you go around and you're ticking things off, and it doesn't particularly have
Yeah,
an interesting traversal system. But
but the dynamic
the
nemesis is
nemesis
so
system is
good.
so good. Where
Yeah,
you kill it, you like try and kill a guy, and then he runs away, and he comes back, and he's like, "I've seen your face before,"
yeah,
and you have
it's
to fight him
great.
again, and you'll try and kill him with fire, and then he'll become like scared of fire because you defeat him with fire before and stuff like that. I really like that
Or
stuff. That
or
stuff
they
was really
defeat
cool.
you. They come back and they're ranked up. You're like, you motherfucker! Like I need to
Yeah.
kill you now. And it's like the story doesn't mean anything when you've got these personal
The
vendettas that the
the
game
War
has given
the
you.
Warner Brothers patented Nemesis system, which
Yeah,
technically
yeah,
they
it's
could have used
unfortunate.
in this game because this is another Warner Brothers game.
Mm.
So the two games we're going to talk about today, Tony, they both have something in common. They both have features that cannot be used anymore because they were online-only features, and the online-only
Oh
feature servers no
no,
longer exist.
another theme other than just open world.
So,
Okay, that sucks.
so this is
Wait,
this was one of the first games where so you have the ability to upgrade your camps basically,
yeah,
and when you do that, it will collect scrap for you automatically when you're playing the game. Now they
yeah.
tested out a feature back then where you could make a feature in your camp where it will collect scrap while you're not playing the game through online services.
Okay, that
But that
sounds.
no longer works.
I'm gonna say that sounds like an improvement.
But I think some people got upset about it because I think you cannot 100% the game anymore. There was just a
What?
thing
Oh,
because it was one of the achievements was to tied to the online service thing, which was kind of disappointing.
right.
Because I think recently I just saw in the news that Gears of War 5 is removing its map creation tool for custom
That
maps.
sucks.
But one of the things they were saying was there's some achievements that were tied to it, so they were just gonna either remove them from the game or just give them to everyone automatically for completionists, which I thought was like a very good idea. Oh, apparently Ubisoft is up for sale. I'm really getting my... You know, recently fucking Bethesda launcher got sunsetted by Microsoft after they were acquired.
Yeah.
Can Microsoft buy Ubisoft and delete Ubisoft Connect? That is my number one dream right now.
Although I don't really like the Xbox launcher, but yeah.
Well, because they sunsetted Bethesda and put it on Steam, Tony. So you can just play it on
Yeah.
Steam.
Okay. My question is, the bombs my games that are currently on Uplay
They'll get migrated over, the same with the Bethesda ones.
to Steam one. Okay.
Yeah. That's what I'm.
Okay,
That's
I'm
what happens
okay
with
with that.
Bethesda.
I'm down with that. If I can have my anime games on Steam, that'd be great.
think recently they said there was about a hundred. I think it was maybe 100 games or something on through Ubisoft had features that were unplayable because they were shutting down because they shut down the servers and never updated the
Yeah,
games to work
that
around it.
almost every like Ubisoft game has like that at the moment. They're just like they're just not. I don't know what's going on. They're not making money or something. I don't
Hmm.
understand. I know the answer. It's going to be greed, not money. But it's just annoying.
So going back to Mad Max, thing Mad Max does well. Avalanche, the open world of like the desert is really good.
Yeah,
But I think
the
I
car
think
play. Oh, the driving is good, I suppose.
oh, this is the mysterious guy who upgrades you, and he talks to you, vocal character. I think inherently the problem with setting a sandbox game in a desert is there's fucking nothing in it, and I'm not saying that's
Yeah,
Avalanche's problem, but like a post-apocalyptic wasteland that is just a giant desert. I mean,
it's a tricky problem.
Fallout gets away with it because it's futuristic alternative world, right? So they can
Well, they
just
pack
put
lots of stuff together though. Like it's like you go to like a post-apocalyptic like city and it's like suburbs, right?
because I think there is cool stuff about just driving across like dunes in a desert where there's just nothing there and you're just riding along. That can be cool, but you got to have something for the player to do other than
Yeah,
just driving around, other than driving to location to get scrap.
it is a tricky. Yeah, it's like a tricky design problem, right? Like how do you have an interesting desolate area?
So I think the approach I took with Mad Max was I very quickly realized I didn't want to 100% the game or anything like that. Where I was just like I started to focus on getting to the end. Like
Oh, right.
there's a term for it. It's called. They were talking about on Mega 64 podcast I was listening to. It's like basically the idea of um, just focusing on the main story quest to get to the end of the game without having to waste all your time on the side quests.
Yeah.
Um,
It's like the opposite of Bethesda game where the main story is shit and the side quests are the most interesting part. Not all of them, but some of them. So like, are there like no like interesting side quests in this game?
um,
Or are they all like collectibles or like unlock areas of the map?
yeah, there's a couple that are okay, but there's not really like, oh, that side quest was awesome. I can't believe I played that.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing particularly interesting about the side content. Oh,
Right.
I
So it's kind
can't.
of just like by the numbers side content. That's unfortunate. Because that's kind of like that is like a Ubisoft feature as well. I don't know if this isn't a Ubisoft game, but that's kind of what Ubisoft's problem is with their open world. It's like they just add side quests by the numbers, complete-a-thon. This is like time sinks more than like fun to play.
Oh, it's gonna annoy me. I can't remember what it was called, but it was such a great term for what I was doing. Just like,
You sprint
just,
into the
just,
finish.
well, just like, it's not about like I want to get through the game itself particularly fast. It's just I want
Right.
to play just
The good
the
the good
main
parts.
meaty game without doing the boring side quests.
Yeah.
And that was the idea I had with Mad Max because I realized early on that I didn't care for the side content. The side content
Yeah.
wasn't the main part of the game. It wasn't particularly interesting. So, yeah. The thing with a car though is you sort of need to unlock specific parts. You need to tear down certain increase your influence in certain areas of the map. Is how it works. So and in order to get rid of influence in certain areas of the map, you need to do a bunch of side quests. So you need to tear down
Yeah.
towers. You need to take over oil stations. You need to, um, go and collect scrap or whatever in that area, right? Which means like, in order to get to certain areas, you do have to do a little bit of side questing. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not just it's like the path of least resistance, right? It's just like,
Yeah, yeah.
what's the minimum amount of side questing I need to do to be able to be a
Because
able to get to the end and b strong
yeah,
enough to progress to the end.
I just seeing like kind of like a waste opportunity because like that sounds really like if the side quests were really cool. Like imagine how cool it'd be like the main story was integrated with the side quests and like you kind of then got to choose how you can play the side quests to then complete the main story. That'd actually be really interesting instead of what a lot of games do, just have like side quests and main quests kind of just two separate things. Kind of seems like a waste to me.
Critical path. That's what it's
Critical
called.
for
I've been looking.
yeah,
Yes, critical path.
it's good. That is a good term.
So yeah, so if you ever want to, like, it's the way it's described, the longest necessary path through the game to get to the end, right?
Yeah.
Whether that includes whether that includes having to do certain side quests or stuff like that. Critical pathing a game, especially a big open world game where you can just get lost doing side content, I think it can allow you to enjoy games that have this boring side
Otherwise,
content.
really boring.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably the only way to enjoy like a Ubisoft game these days.
Yeah. Well, I critical pathed the game after this, and fuck that game.
Yeah, well, I'd say like a lot of them are really bad still. So
Yeah. So things Avalanche did well on this. I think driving the car around can be fun. It's not the greatest handling on the car, but then again,
right.
I also feel like the car in the beginning is like unupgraded, and then also it's a post-apocalyptic buggy, so it's also not meant to feel that great to be driving around in the areas you go in the car you're in. It does feel a lot better
I
when
feel
you
like
get
it's meant to
towards the
not
end.
be. Right. Okay.
But I do think
I
the
don't
car
know.
driving could have been better overall.
Yeah.
Oh, I was supposed to talk about spoilers, wasn't I? And I completely forgot to talk about spoilers. So the main plot of the story is Mad Max hates everyone, and then they're like, Chum Bucket's your best buddy. And then
Yeah,
they
he's great.
introduce the one attractive-looking woman in the wasteland to be your love interest, and she has a child. And then
Right.
they're like, aha, she's going to get captured and killed. And I was like, okay, I'll give it to them. They'll kill the woman, but they won't kill the child, right? Because there's no way you
Yeah.
would release a game and you'd kill a child. They fucking kill the child. I was like, oh my god, this got dark. So he just goes.
Right.
That's what like tears you into this spin of going. Dare I say mad? Mad
I mean,
Max.
I guess that's fair. I mean, they dared to do it.
You're not. There's a guy called Max, and he's bloody mad.
Mad Max too.
So the basic story is the guy at the beginning, he steals your car, and you're trying to get back to Gastown in order to get your car back. So you upgrade Chum Bucket's buggy until you can get back to your car, and then you take down the main villain of the game, who is the guy you fought at the beginning in like a
Wait,
death
so you're already
race.
getting back to your long lost love, your car?
Yes. The main character of Mad Max,
Okay.
the car.
Right.
I mean, this game has instead of towers, you have hot air balloons that you slowly go up that reveal the area around you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I still feel like that Assassin's Creed, like the early Assassin's Creed did like the tower things well because like every tower was slightly different and how you had to like navigate it and like
Traverse it.
climb it. It's like a little climbing puzzle.
Well, speaking of Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed.
No, that's
Wait.
that's the only interesting part of the game.
Yeah,
Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
I agree with the interesting, not good, because I have issues with it, but we'll get to that.
So, okay, so the last time I played an Assassin's Creed game, I played all of the main Ezio storyline. So I played Assassin's Creed 1.
Did you complete Revelations?
Yes, I did.
Oh my god, okay. I gave up on Revelations, so that's my last.
So I played Revelations, and then I started to play Assassin's Creed 3 on PC, and then I played it with mouse and keyboard because I don't think I had a controller then, and I was just like, I was just like, holy shit, I'm not I just gave
It's
up on it.
not. It's not designed for mouse and keyboard. I'll tell you that.
But I feel like I wasn't connecting much with the Native American like storyline of the setting and that sort of stuff. Whereas
Yeah.
I much preferred like the Italian
Well, Ezio's a much better
Jerusalem
written character.
stuff of Altair as well.
Yeah.
Buildings. I wasn't sure about like because there can't be that many buildings because it's like they're just building America.
Yeah.
So I was like, I heard good things about Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I heard the naval combat was good, and I like pirate games because I like being a pirate.
Yeah. That's where I was at. I was like, I've heard that the ship stuff was good. I want to be a pirate. Let's
So
go.
I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna try to play an Assassin's Creed game before they went to the RPG ones, and I'm just going.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna load up Assassin's Creed 4 because that one sounds interesting. Oh boy, was I wrong to try
Yeah.
this game. I
Once
really
you get
thought I really thought it could be
start.
like an interesting pirate game. It's Assassin's Creed again, but with a pirate skin, and the pirate skin is shit.
Yeah. Like even the ship stuff, like I feel like there's not enough content for it. Like I feel like if it was like the game was designed around the ship stuff, like sure you can make a good game with what
Tony,
they've got.
like,
But what we've actually got here is not good.
I'm gonna go directly into spoilers on this one. So you start out as a pirate called
Yep.
Edward Kenway, and you accidentally walk into an assassin who's betrayed you to the Templar, or no, an assassin he's changed side to the Templar.
Yeah.
And you end up killing him, and you find out that he's going to get a cash in from the Templars. So you steal his identity and his hidden blades, and then you go, "Oh, I can be an assassin." So you
I can climb.
You can pretend to be the assassins for the Templar, and I go, "Oh, that's interesting." An assassin that's a Templar, didn't they try this in Assassin's Creed 3 and go, "Oh, you're going to get to be a Templar, you're going to get to be the bad guys, and you won't be an assassin," and then immediately give up on it? In this game, they do the exact same fucking thing where you get to be a Templar for 10 seconds, and then it goes, "Oh, but you're actually one of the good guys, you have to be an assassin." It's like,
Yeah.
try and do something interesting for once. Why do I need to play the same game over and over again?
Uh-huh. Yeah. I mean that's where I was at with even Revelations. It's like it's got all the bad stuff from Brotherhood, and it's like okay.
Can't believe it.
So it's got a gun.
Yeah, you get guns, and although you get guns in the earlier ones, oh my god, the boss fights in some of these games are fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Is this boss fight where you can't attack this guy front on, so you have to like run around picking up ammo to shoot him, but also hide from him at the same time? It's really, really dumb.
Remember in Assassin's Creed 1 with the boss fights were you planning how to assassinate someone without getting caught?
No, there's nothing like that.
Okay. I just
It's
miss
about
the simplicity.
it's about collecting sea shanties for no reason. I'm not kidding. One of the collectibles is sea shanties, and all it does is let you play other sea
Wait,
shanties on your boat.
That was it. He's dead.
And I wouldn't mind that if the game was
Yeah.
fun. Like if it was like
the game would design on the pirate stuff.
if riding around on the boat was fun, I was like, yeah, I'll get some different sea shanties. But it sucks. It's just not fun. Okay, so Tony, that's the story of like how you get to the Templars, but then you have to find the guy who knows where the secret Animus temple shit thing is, and then you convert him to be a pirate. And then Blackbeard is an interesting character, but he's only in it for 5 minutes, and then they immediately get rid of him for no reason. And then every other
Well, I
character.
require writing.
Okay, so Tony, in this game, you meet a character, and then the game acts like they're your best friend, and then they betray you within 5 seconds, and then the game goes, "Wasn't that shocking that that character you introduced for 5 seconds immediately turned around and betrayed you?" It doesn't earn any of the story beats it gives you at all. And then it introduces a character, and it's like, oh,
wasn't that 3's problem as well? Then, like, is it like he took credit for everything that happened in like history, and said like, well, this isn't a deserved story at all, and nothing feels justified.
Yeah, the main story is that he was going to be a pirate so he could go earn a load of money and then go back to see his wife, but it's a shit story. It's a really shit story. And then Tony, I don't know, do I have footage of the Ubisoft headquarters?
Oh, I thought yeah, you do.
So they couldn't make an Assassin's Creed game without having dumb anima shit in it. So it
Do you have, like,
turns
two
out,
recurring characters from the older games, right?
yes, you do. So it
The
turns
really
out
annoying ones.
that you are actually in a French-Canadian game studio that are turning your memories into games. And you're literally at Ubisoft. They are an evil corporation that are making video games.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're like self-aware enough to realize like
No.
they're literally making themselves. But not in a
yeah.
positive light. Like these are the Templars.
Yeah, like considering how we've recently discovered how evil Ubisoft is at like at executive level. Then
Yeah.
I don't think they realized what they were doing.
So I think because the thing is Abstergo, which is like the Templar thing. But the thing is, if they'd been super tongue-in-cheek about this, where they just take the piss out of the fact that you are like you have serious Assassin's Creed parts, and then you come out and it's like, oh, this is all just a video game, like very funny.
Yeah,
it could have worked, but the thing is they take it. It's really dumb, and then they also take it super seriously on top of that, and it just does not work at all. So as you come out the fucking Animus, then a character gets you to go around and hacking stuff. And then it's like, oh, who's this mysterious character gets me to hack stuff? And it turns out the guy who's getting you to hack stuff is a guy who you're interacting with in the Animus, who's like an immortal character who always knows where this temple is that holds a mystical object, and the story makes no fucking sense, and it sucks.
I can't. That's like the person before Desmond in like the early games, right?
Yeah.
Oh, let's play that. That looks like a much better game. Let's play that one. Yeah, that sounds much better. Can we play that again? Oh.
They'll offer passive experiences, of course. Edited versions of real history, but only the exciting parts. And we think we found the perfect subject for our first full-length virtual feature. Caribbean Pirates. So
Caribbean Pirates. Wow.
It'll just take a minute, okay?
Let's talk about the actual combat. So some of the actual pirate combat is actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
The problem with it, I think, is it starts to get to a point where you become so weak unless you do 1 billion hours of side content.
Yeah.
That I was just trying to skip most of it because I would just die otherwise.
Yeah, I could destroy these little ships, and even then I took a lot of damage when I played this years ago. And then you then get like a slightly bigger ship, and they'll just like instantly kill you. I'm like, oh,
yeah, because they have like levels, and the problem is with upgrading your ship.
I hate it.
There's a big problem with the upgrading your ship, which is a thing I hate when it comes to economies. Is that to upgrade your ship, you need a certain type of resource. It's not just if it was like do some side content, get some money. I would be okay with that. I would just go and do some side content and get some money and upgrade my ship. But
you then go back to like the pirate port. It'd be like a good old laugh, and they'd upgrade the ship for you. That'd be great fun.
The problem is there's resources in this game, and you have to collect like 7 different individual resources to upgrade specific parts of your ship. And if you don't have that specific resource, you need to go and fight a ship that can drop random resources. So you're never able to target exactly what you want to get. So you have to just keep repeating side content over and over again that you don't want to do in order to stay strong enough to complete the game. It's so tedious and boring.
Yeah. Yeah, did you complete the game?
I did.
Okay, I couldn't. I got this game for free, Joe. I got it for my graphics card, my 770.
I think they're giving it away. Like they start giving away a bunch of stuff free on like Uplay Connect, Ubisoft Connect, and stuff like that to get people to try and use their awful system.
It's not good enough. Ramming speed. Oh, okay.
Because the problem is, there's a little bit of this fun naval combat.
Yeah.
You get way too underpowered way too quickly if you don't just spam side content, which I'm not going to do because it's not fun.
Yeah.
And then it's in between. There's like shit Assassin's Creed stuff. It's just every other content that's not naval combat is just Assassin's Creed. Even to a point, Tony, where we were talking about where there's a section where you need to tail someone in your boat.
Oh, yeah.
Through these swamps.
Yeah, you have to follow this ship through the mist and the fog and the swamp.
And I was like, okay,
like,
there's similar missions in games like Sea of Thieves, a good pirate game, where you'll follow someone on a rowboat, and that makes sense. It's like, no, these really narrow swamps that you have to go through, you have to follow them in your full-size ship, and it makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah. Also, I hate boarding these ships because you just then have to deal with the Assassin's Creed combat, which I'm so over. I don't want to fight lots of enemies with Assassin's Creed combat. To me, they should have like really focused on like assassinating one or two individuals, then running away.
It gets like some of the like very quickly in the naval combat. It'll come to a point where I was having to restart missions in naval combat over and over again, and the game was like telling me, "You are too weak to defeat this. Go do some side content." And I just said no. I just kept doing it. I just struggled through a lot of the battles, and then I think there was one final battle before you like sort of end the game where it's like a really tough battle. And one thing I found out you could do is instead of going into the battle, you can just get out you can just jump out your ship and just swim past the ships because they can't shoot you when you're in swimming mode. So I just swam to complete the game. I just swam past the the final ship battle of the game because I was like, fuck this shit.
I didn't even think of that.
Oh, don't even get me. Okay, so to play this, you have to play it through Uplay Connect.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
And there was and when I was trying to play this, there was a problem with Uplay Connect, where the servers to redeem the game were down, so a lot of people couldn't even redeem the game to play it, even though they owned it on Steam, which I owned on Steam as well. Then I was like, I had the Gold Edition, I think, which I was like, but there's like 50 different versions on Ubisoft that give you different amounts of content.
Oh yeah, the Ubisoft special.
And I spent so long trying to figure out how to launch the DLC, or if I owned the DLC. And I had no idea if I had it. But by the time I'd actually played the game, I was like, you know what? I don't fucking want to play this DLC. Like, I don't want to play any more of this fucking game. Like, it doesn't matter to me anymore. Because I'm just so done with this shit. I cannot stand fucking Ubisoft open world games anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is the last Ubisoft open world game that I tried and then never played another one since. So
I'm just so fucking done with.
And
Ubisoft
when did this
Connect.
game come out?
2013.
Was it later than that?
I want to say like 2011 even.
No, because I think that's when Assassin's Creed Brotherhood came out.
I think it may even be. I think it's 2011. I'm gonna look it up.
No, that's definitely when Brotherhood came out, because at the same time as Skyrim.
2013.
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure Revelations came out a year after Brotherhood, and then this came out a year after Revelation. Oh no, a year after 3, sorry.
But Tony.
Oh god, they squeezed them in.
There's great content in this game that you can no longer do because, well, there's unlockable shit in this game that you can no longer get because Ubisoft has just shut down the servers without making a way to get it without having to connect to their servers because they just don't give a shit about their user base.
Oh yeah, these AAA publishers seem to just not care about their games. That's what we've definitely discovered in the past few years.
The good parts of this game are so small that I would heavily recommend avoiding this game at all costs.
Just play Sea of Thieves.
If you want a good pirate game, play Sea of Thieves. I'm trying to think if there's another like good pirate game. The problem is I'm playing these pirate games because I want there to be more good pirate games.
Yeah, I want there to be a good a good pirate RPG, and there's like. I think there's been 3. Are they Risen? I can't remember what they're called now. I think they're Risen. It's like the pirate RPGs. There's been 3 of them, and they're all shit. And it sucks so badly. I want a good pirate RPG with questing and like moving your ship to port. Like, I want good pirate games. I love pirates. I feel like the Pirates of the Caribbean films have kind of fallen off. Like they had like lightning in a bottle for the first 3 films, and then I just feel like the golden age of pirates is long gone. Until
The
someone
golden age of piracy, privateering, as Linus calls it.
private, yeah, it's just gone in entertainment right now, and we need like a someone to step up.
But I've been
Because I really love
I've been
saying.
using Ubisoft Connect a lot recently because I started playing Uno a lot with my friends, and
Yeah.
maybe another Ubisoft game, but fuck Ubisoft Connect, dude. I hate it so much. I hate it so much.
Yeah. But I found though it's worse.
So there's
I decided to buy Anno games on Uplay because I thought it for me anyway, it was worse loading a Ubisoft game through Steam, going through Steam, then Uplay, then your game, than just going to Uplay and just loading the game.
Yeah.
As shit as it is, it's still like the lesser of the evils.
There's less points of failure, I guess.
Yeah. Cause I remember back in the day, it was like 8 Anno, like not, it was like, it was an old Anno game, like I bought to try like older Anno games, and just like would not launch. It's like, oh fine, I guess I can't play my Steam version of the Anno game. So it's like, fuck it, I'll just buy them on Uplay.
So Assassin's Creed Black Flag, because sometimes open world games, like, I played these back to back, and compared to Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Mad Max is a masterpiece.
Yeah, you got the fun driving at least.
So even to people who like open world games, I would say avoid Black Flag, but if you're a fan of open world games, I would actually recommend Mad Max. It's not for everybody, and you might bounce off it within like a few hours, and if you do, I think if you play like Mad Max and you're like, oh, I can't be bothered with the scrapping and stuff, I would say either critical path it or just give up. I don't think it's worth getting to the end because the story's not particularly interesting, to be honest with you.
Oh dear.
That's the end of
I feel like this was more depressing than I thought it was going to be, actually.
I said to you, Tony, we can talk about anything you want to talk to.
I wanted to talk about this.
And I said to you, if we talk about Assassin's Creed Black Flag, there's gonna be a lot of fucking salt.
I feel like we've just downed like an entire, not genre, but like type of game. You know, like a lot of these open world games these days are like this. Like I feel like we've criticized like 100 games or by talking about 2 games.
The thing is, though, I fucking love Spyro, which is in essence a open world collectathon game. And the reason I like it is because the traversal is interesting. You need to give people a reason to move from A to B. Well, that is interesting.
Like the first, I guess, the first Jack and Daxter game, technically a collectathon and sort of open world game-ish.
Yeah.
But like it's not quite open world. Like, it's not like as open world as like
because right now everyone's
like stuff to collect.
Because right now everyone's like, oh, I love Elden Ring and Horizon Zero Dawn 2 or whatever, and I'm just like, I just have no interest in them at all because
those are the only 2 games that are interesting because they're actually like somewhat different than the other open world games. I'm kind of done with like every other open world franchise.
But those games are more open world games. I'm just like, I don't care.
Yeah, that's fair. I will say, even though like I think Elden Ring and like Horizon, was it Forbidden West or whatever it's called?
Like I'm way more interested to play like Sekiro because it's way more linear.
Yeah, that's fair.
I just feel like
we
linear games.
Need stuff that makes open world stuff interesting again because like we've had like
and I'm not against having open world stuff. I'm not against open world elements and stuff like that.
You just want more interesting stuff. You don't want the bog standard stuff.
But the problem with open world stuff is because there's so much, world to have, you need to fill it full of stuff, and you end up filling it full of crap because you can't make enough interesting content.
Is the start of the problem the advertising about how big the map is? Because I don't give a shit how big the map is. I want to know how much good content there is to play.
Like I like open world games. Fallout New Vegas is one of the best games of all time.
Yeah. RPGs do open world stuff really well.
Anyway. Bye.
Goodbye.
Fuck Ubisoft.